welcome into First Take on a Feel Good Friday. My favorite day of the week. Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman, Molly.
What's going on, man?
How are you
doing,
guys?
Thank y'all so much.
And also, happy birthday.
I don't get any love, huh?
Of course, you always get love, of course. But we're going to have a lot of surprises for you throughout the show.
Oh, Lord, I don't need all that.
So first, this is for me. Stephanie, could you please come out?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, excuse me.
I got you a Steelers balloon.
I did not know this.
We got some cupcakes.
Oh.
I didn't know what you like.
Thank you so much.
I tried to get you a variety.
This man is on a diet.
So you can pick your favorite.
Well, I can eat something.
Oh,
I can
and
eat
I
something.
have this
I can
too.
figure that out.
Hold on, am I
What's this? What is this? What is this?
You have to wear this for the whole show.
Oh, Mom, what is this?
Birthday necklace. We need to attach
We can do this. We can do this.
Yes.
We can do this. We can do
In the
this.
Karen
I'll
house,
do
we
it.
celebrate everything.
I'll do it. Thank you so much.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
We love you.
Appreciate it. Thank you
All right,
so much.
but
I'll wear it. I'll wear it. Thanks a lot, my man.
I just want you to know the next two surprises are going to be much better than
Oh,
this.
Lord.
So stay tuned.
Hey, I like this stuff. I like this.
it?
I mean, it clashes with the tie a
No,
little
it
bit,
looks
but we
good.
can do that.
It looks
We
good.
can do
It
that.
pops. It shines.
There we go. There we go.
So coming up, we're going to have a lot of fun today. A major guest joining us. Kevin Hart will be in the house. Don't miss his takeover of the show. He's going to be moderating. It'll be a lot of fun, plus more surprises. But first, there is an NFC clash in Lambeau, and it's going to be good. When the Cowboys come to town, Dallas has now won 4 in a row under Dak Prescott after losing to the Giants Week 1. And Green Bay's only loss came at undefeated Minnesota. But Aaron Rodgers hasn't been himself this season with the lowest completion percentage in the entire league. I love this question, Stephen A., and I love this game. Who is this a bigger deal for, bigger game for, Dak Prescott or Aaron Rodgers?
I'm going to say this. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. It's a bigger game. It's a bigger game. It's a bigger game for Aaron Rodgers.
You don't really think that.
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. Because Dak Prescott is playing with house money.
Yep.
You are a 4th-round pick. You are a rookie. You have exceeded expectations. And even though, I'm sorry, what's up?
No, keep going.
I'm sorry. Even though you got that going on, the bottom line is this. When you look at it, you got to say to yourself, Max, something is wrong with this picture with Aaron Rodgers here. We're talking about him in a way. I don't know what y'all do.
What's wrong with the picture is the Steelers balloon is hitting you in the head.
I got it. We can do that. We can do that. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay.
It's just such a better visual.
Let the
It's
Steelers.
a party Friday.
I'm good with it. I'm good with it. I'm totally good with it. I'm totally good with it. All right. Let me be real. Let's get back to Aaron Rodgers here. This is a bad man. He's a bad man, Max, okay? But he hasn't been that this year. Look at these 4 games. 58% completion in week 1, 55 in week 2, 62 in week 3 against Detroit. Then week 5, because they had a bye in week 4 or whatever, he completed 51% of his passes. This is not Aaron Rodgers. This is not the Aaron Rodgers that I know. Now, obviously, Jordy Nelson is back, but not really back. But the flip side to all of it is this. As I've watched Aaron Rodgers, as I've watched him perform this year, whether inside the pocket, scrambling outside to his left or right, or whatever the case may be, Aaron Rodgers has been a shell of the Aaron Rodgers that we know. So what I'm saying to you is that, of course, one game doesn't define him or anything like that, but I'm saying it's important because with the Dallas Cowboys coming into town, with all the noise about this rookie sensation named Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers is the kind of dude, he's the same kind of guy that knew about the legacy of Brett Favre and all of that stuff. Remember when Brett Favre came back, when he decided not to retire in 2008? And Aaron Rodgers said, I guess it's going to be an open competition. So what, so be it. Don't make a difference to me. I believe in myself. I believe what I can do. Let's get it on. That's the kind of attitude that he had. That was a hint towards his greatness. You got Dak Prescott rolling up in Lambeau Field this Sunday. You got to handle your business. You can't be completing 56% of your passes, okay? You got 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Got to remember, there were seasons where Aaron Rodgers only threw 5 or 6 interceptions the entire season. He's already got 3 in 4 games. It's not the Aaron Rodgers that we know. It's not the Aaron Rodgers that we love. It ain't the bad man that I know him to be. So I do believe that this game, particularly since it's against Dak Prescott and the Cowboys, is of some significance. And I think because of that, which is why I say this game is more important to him, because we're looking at him and we're not seeing what we're accustomed to seeing from him.
Remember when you were a kid and it's your birthday and you got a punch for every year you were and all that?
No, I had sisters.
Yeah, okay, well, Stephen A., you can't do that to Stephen A. because that's like assault at his age.
Yeah.
Yes.
So instead, I'm just going to beat you in all these debates as your birthday gift. That's your birthday gift.
Well, I would appreciate you trying.
Now,
I would appreciate
let's start
that.
with this one. Of course, this is a bigger game for Dak Prescott than Aaron Rodgers. First of all, Aaron Rodgers loses the game. Is he in decline last season, this season? Maybe, who knows, whatever. It's not going to affect his future. They don't want him taking his job. Let's look at the downside for Dak Prescott. And I'm going to use one of your favorite words, Stephen A. Smith. This will be his possibly penultimate start this year if he loses. He goes to Green Bay and loses.
By the way, penultimate for our listeners. See, I will explain. It means next to last.
Yes. Well, you use it like every day.
I'm just saying, you used it, but you didn't tell them what it meant. Okay, go ahead.
You got like 11 million Twitter followers. If they don't know what penultimate means by now as much as you use it.
It's not 11 million. It's 3. But go ahead.
3 million.
Okay.
My vocabulary is growing every day. It's amazing.
So if Dak Prescott loses at Green Bay, then they have a bye. And then comes back, it's going to be at Cowboys, Eagles, Cowboys, Wentz, Prescott. If he loses that game, which is a distinct possibility, I wouldn't say the Cowboys are better than the Eagles, we'll see. You lose consecutive games, one in your division, that's Romo's job again. Jerry Jones is paying that man a lot of money. Jerry Jones has said he wants it to be Romo's job. He said Romo's ready. By then, Romo will be no physical issues whatsoever. It will be Romo's job. You beat Green Bay. Let's look at the upside. You beat Green Bay, you could even lose to the Eagles. You're going to keep that job. You go to Lambeau, so there's the downside where if you lose, there's a guy coming to take your job. But then there's also the upside for Dak. If you win, you are going to be the Dallas Cowboys quarterback maybe for the rest of this season, Stephen A. Smith. There's more on the line for Dak Prescott. There's no one coming to take Aaron Rodgers' job.
Well, listen, you can say that, but I think that you're playing with house money when you're going up against one of the greatest quarterbacks in this game, if not the most talented quarterback we've ever seen. If you're Dak Prescott and you play for the Dallas Cowboys, you're going up against a Green Bay Packers squad that's got the #1 rush defense, and they've got Aaron Rodgers there with a healthy slew of receivers. I think you are playing with house money. Not to mention the fact, let's keep in mind, we're talking about an Aaron Rodgers that has been struggling. We're talking about an Aaron Rodgers that is putting in the worst performance of his career as the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. Had that not been the case, then this is just another game, and whatever happens, happens. But we have been chronicling the demise of Aaron Rodgers to some degree. I don't believe that. You don't believe that. But there are a lot of people out there that say, what the hell has happened with Aaron Rodgers? Why doesn't he seem to be himself? We don't get that. We don't understand what the issue is. And because of it, we're saying, excuse me, we need to be reminded of exactly what you bring to the table. Even in a down year, that was last year, had 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. We're looking at him and we're saying, okay, but that was still a down year. But we thought it was an aberration because you didn't have Jordy Nelson. Well, Jordy Nelson is back, and Randall Cobb is still there. And Richard Rodgers and Eddie Lacy and the boys are still there. Mike McCarthy is still your coach. Ted Thompson is still your GM. Your offensive line is relatively intact. And on the defensive side of the ball, Clay Matthews and the crew has one of the top rushing defenses in the game. And so when you look at it, you're saying to yourself, wait a minute, Aaron Rodgers, if you are that dude, suddenly we're not talking about Minnesota being the dominant force that it is, because no matter how formidable their defense is, they still have a problem in the NFC North because they have to deal with you, Aaron Rodgers. Nobody's saying that right now, which is why we need to see something.
There's a big difference there.
This Sunday.
There's a big difference there in that description, though. Aaron Rodgers, what's at stake for him, according to you, is his reputation. His reputation as the best quarterback in the world will take another hit, and people like Molly will say, see, it is Tom Brady or whoever else people want to put up there ahead of Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I will.
But right, sure, you say that now. But the difference is with Dak Prescott, it's not his reputation that takes a hit, it's his job description on Sunday that takes a hit. And let me say this, since you brought up, and that's a bigger deal, since you brought up the run defense for Green Bay.
Yep.
The mighty Dallas Cowboys offensive line that's made Ezekiel Elliott look like Jim Brown.
We're about to find out about them this weekend.
And see, for the first time, they're running up against a team where you go, boy, that's strength on strength. What if Dallas can't run the ball? Then, for the first time this season, it truly will be on Dak. And if they lose if they lose the first time they can't run the ball, that's going to highlight Dak's status as a rookie quarterback, who, by the way, has yet to throw an interception. That's another thing. You think that, how long can that go on?
155 passes.
Eventually, he's going to throw an interception, maybe this week when they're going to have a hard time running the ball.
What I'm saying to you is, as impressive as it is, what you're prognosticating is contingent on the offensive line creating holes for Ezekiel Elliott, because you have to assume one way or the other. If what has been happening happens, then Dak again is playing with house money. But if Green Bay's defense shows up against the run and forces Dak Prescott to be the one who beats them, now we've got a different scenario. What I'm saying to you is those are a bunch of ifs attached to yours. To me, it's about Aaron Rodgers. No matter what scenario you pick, Aaron Rodgers has to show up, because we have become increasingly alarmed by what we have not been seeing from him. He's not throwing guys open. He's overthrowing dudes. His fundamentals seem to have gone out the window. You got Coach Mike McCarthy. You know, there doesn't seem to be any hardcore coaching coming his way. You remember how Mike Holmgren, how it was famous for Mike Holmgren really coaching Brett Favre, and how Brett Favre wasn't allowed to do what he wanted to do, when he wanted to do it, how he wanted to do it, and Holmgren got in him, and everybody was wondering about that, but it ultimately led to a Super Bowl title and 2 Super Bowl appearances. This is one of those situations where people are starting to question what level of coaching, and I'm not questioning Mike McCarthy in any way. I'm simply echoing the sentiments of those out there watching the Green Bay Packers on a weekly basis. They're questioning how much hardcore coaching Aaron Rodgers is receiving from Mike McCarthy, who, by the way, is calling plays again this year, which he wasn't doing the last couple of years. That was supposed to be an uptick. That was supposed to be an upswing. That's not the case now.
I'll tell you what I see with Aaron Rodgers. Who doesn't have the same team around him quite in terms of the quality of the team, and you touched on that he had years ago, several years ago. It doesn't seem to me like, is he inaccurate? Is he not making completions? I mean, his percentage indicates that, reflects it. Yes, that's true, but he still looks like he knows what he's doing to me. He's not just scrambling with no idea. He's got a plan. That's a matter of fine-tuning things. But let me ask you this. What's the consequence if Aaron Rodgers doesn't ball out against Dak Prescott, against the Cowboys? What is the actual consequence? Someone's going to write an article about Aaron Rodgers. That's the consequence. What's the consequence if Dak doesn't do well against the Packers?
What I'm saying,
he could lose his job.
No. But we're not talking about him wetting the bed and stinking up the joint, because we understand that reality. But I'm talking about the need to perform exceptionally well in this particular game. I'm saying to you that Dak Prescott can have an average game with no turnovers, and we'll still find ourselves impressed with this young 4th-round pick who's a rookie who's led the Dallas Cowboys on this surge earlier on in the season. Aaron Rodgers isn't afforded that luxury. Win, lose, or draw, we're going to look at the specific performance of Aaron Rodgers and ask ourselves, what the hell has happened to you? Because he's a superstar. This dude, and you know this, when it comes to superstars, there's a standard of excellence that you are held to that doesn't compare to everybody else. There's very little wiggle room for Aaron Rodgers to dissipate in any way, because we have an expectation when it comes to him.
And let's say he doesn't live up to it. Right. Okay, the standards are always higher for superstars. And what happens if he doesn't live up?
Well, again, what happens with Dak Prescott?
His job.
Wait a minute, that's not necessarily so.
Oh, no, but then it's Eagles. It's Eagles or bust.
If he sticks up the joint, yes. But I'm saying to you, Aaron Rodgers has to play at an exceptional level.
I'm saying if Dak plays well and they lose, he could play well again against Carson Wentz, and they could lose again, and that's the opening the Cowboys need as an excuse to play the guy who they're paying still like they owe him $50 million.
Well, actually,
that's what's going to happen.
Actually, they're looking for the excuse not to play Tony Romo, because from what we're hearing, you know, he's getting healthier and healthier. Jerry Jones has said, you know, he's passing health tests and what have you, but they're still saying, slow down, big boy.
Right, so that's this week, bye week, next week?
Hold on, they're saying, let's take it slow. Why? Because they don't want to disrupt the momentum that this is built. Now, you say momentum. I'm not talking wins and W's. I'm talking about the performance of the offense. What if Green Bay beat Dallas 40-37? How is that the fault of Dak Prescott?
It's not, but
Thank you.
Nevertheless, it will be held against him.
No, it won't.
When it comes to decision-making, if they lose that game, I'm just telling you what's going to happen. If they lose that game to Green Bay and they lose to the Eagles, Romo will show up the following week. That's Romo's job again. That's just the way it works.
Okay.
So, you want to lose his job or you want to keep his job?
Aaron Rodgers. I'm about stars. I'm about the big boys showing up in moments that matter and reminding us of the greatness we've applied to them. To me, that's my theory. That's my approach. That's the way I think about it. I have not seen this Aaron Rodgers that I once said I would take ahead of Tom Brady because I consider him the most talented quarterback in the game. I have not seen that man this season. And I'm saying I need to see Aaron Rodgers because there's some dude with Aaron Rodgers' jersey showing up in a green and yellow uniform for the Green Bay Packers for the first 5 weeks of this season, and it has not been Aaron Rodgers. I need to see Aaron Rodgers.
I thought you were about necklaces and balloons.
Well, you know what? The balloon is kind of getting on my nerves.
I'll move it for you.
You got to move it. This balloon will be gone, but I don't mind a necklace.
You're getting mad at the balloon.
Listen.
Odell Beckham Jr., you can punch it if you want
Those Mr. T commercials that are on right now, if he could wear all that 40 pounds of gold, I could wear this for an afternoon. I can do that.
Green Bay's favored by 3.5. And to your point about Dak with no interceptions, Aaron's thrown 205 passes against the Cowboys, including the playoffs, no interceptions. So it'll be INT watch. But we want to hear from you guys on this huge NFC matchup. Is this a bigger game for Dak or Rodgers? Make your voice heard. Go on our Twitter page and vote now.